Jambudweep comprises of 1,00,000 yojan, while the area of Plakshadweep is twice the area of Jambudweep, that is 2,00,000 yojans. Similarly, Shalmali is twice the area of Plaksh, while Kushur is twice the area of Shalmali. The area of Kraunchadweep is twice the area of Kushdweep, whereas the area of Shagdweep is twice the area of Kraunchadweep. The island of Pushkar is twice the area of Shak. 7 mountains are situated in all these 7 islands. They are Himavan, Hemkut, Rishab, Muyu, Neel, Shwit, and Srini. Ailavrat is situated in the middle of 6 mountains, which themselves are situated in the middle of the ocean surrounding all the 7 islands named earlier. Sumayu mountain is situated in the central part of Ailavrat. People belonging to all the 4 castes, Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra, reside in Ailavrat. Just above Ailavrat are the dwelling places of Lokpals like Indra etc. Lord Brahma's assembly is situated at the center. Beneath Ailavrat are situated the 4 mountains, Mandar, Gandhamadhan, Vipul, and Supishva. These 4 mountains are situated in each of the 4 directions. The great mountain Nishad is situated towards the west of Muyu, while the great mountain Pariyatra is situated just behind it. Towards the south of Muyu are situated the great mountains, Kailash and Himavan. The mountains Sringvan and Jaradi are situated towards the north of Muyu mountain. River Jambu flows all around the Muyu mountain in a circular path. The origin of Ganga. Markandeya says, River Ganga originates from a place named Druvada. This particular place is related with Narayana. River Ganga then falls on the Sumayu mountain and gets distributed into 4 main streams. One of these streams flows towards Chaitratha forest. The name of this particular stream is Sita. The same Sita Ganga enters into the Varanada reservoir, and from there, it moves towards the ocean and again changes its course to get submerged into that stream of Ganga, which has fallen on the Gandhamadhan mountain and which is known as Alaknanda. Alaknanda, after submerging into Mansarova, subsequently entered the Mahadri Himalaya, where Lord Shankar held her in his locks of hair. He released River Ganga only at the request of sage Bhagarat. After being released, River Ganga got subdivided into 7 streams, and ultimately, all those 7 streams submerged into the ocean. The stream of Ganga, which originates from the west of Sumayu mountain, is known as Suchakzu. This stream gets submerged in the ocean towards the south, after passing through many mountains. The 4th stream reaches Savita forest after passing through 2 mountains, Supazu and Mu. This particular stream is famously known as Bhadrasoma. Bhadrasoma Ganga ultimately gets submerged into the ocean after passing through mountains like Shankut and Vrishab. Bharata-Varsa. Kraustuki asked Markandeya, "O Lord, please describe about Bharata-Varsa." Markandeya replied, Bharata-Varsa is surrounded by oceans on all its 3 sides. People living towards the east of Bharata-Varsa are known as Kairat, while people living towards the west are called Yavan. The central part of Bharata-Varsa is inhabited by all the 4 castes, Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. The 7 mountains are situated in the central part of Bharata-Varsa. They are Mahendra, Malaya, Sahaya, Shaktiman, Riksh, Vindhya, and Pariyatra. There are thousands of hills situated in the vicinity of these 7 mountains. The central part of Bharata-Varsa is subdivided into Janpadas. The residents of these Janpadas are known as Mlecha and Arya. All the major rivers of Bharata-Varsa like Ganga, Saraswati, Sindhu, Chandrabhaga, Yamuna, Shetadru, Vitasta, Irrawaddy, Gomti, Vipasha and Gandki etc., originate from the mountains situated in the central parts. The names of the prominent Janpadas situated in the central part of Bharata-Varsa are Matsya, Ashwakut, Kulia, Kuntal, Kashi, Kaushal, Abuda, Kalinga, Malak, Vrika etc. River Godavari flows towards the north of Sai mountain. A city named Govardhan is situated near this mountain. Some other prominent places situated in the vicinity of this mountain are Bahalik, Vatahan, Amir, and Kortoyak. Kshatriya, Vishya and Shudras live in the following states: Shudra, Bahalif, Charmakhandika, Ganda, Yavan, Sindhu, Saurvya, Badrak, Shatruj, Parad, and Kikaya. The following states are situated in the north of Bharata-Varsa: Tamas, Hansmarg, Kashmir, Shulik, Kihak, Urna, Dava etc. States like Abrarak, Mudgarak, Antagiri, Plawang, Mal, Daml, Vartik, Uttar Brahma, Pragjutish, Madra, Vidya, Tamraliptak, Mala and Magad are situated in the east of Bharata-Varsa. States situated in the south of Bharata-Varsa are Pandya, Kerala, Kola, Maharashtra, Mahishik, Kalinga, and Amir. These are the Janpadas where Shiva live. Janpadas situated in the west of Bharata-Varsa are Suyarak, Kalabala, Durg, Kaha, Puland, Toshla and Koshal etc. Bharata-Varsa is the only country in the whole world where all the four yugas, Satya, Treta, Dwapar, and Kali occur in a cyclic way. Bharata-Varsa is the root of all forms of divinity where deities reside and Almighty God takes incarnation. Tortoise incarnation. Kraustuki asked Markandeya, "O Lord, how does Srihari live in the form of a tortoise?" Markandeya replied, "Srihari in the form of a tortoise sits facing east." States situated in the central portion of his body are Vidi, Madra, Mandavya, Shalva, Kasa, Saraswat, Matsya etc. States which are situated in the mouth of the tortoise are Vrishadwaj, Anjan, Kasha, Magad, Pragjutish, Mitla, Koshal etc. In the right foot of the tortoise are situated states like Kalinga, Banga etc. Vindhya mountain is also situated in the right foot. States which are situated in the tail of the tortoise are Manamga, Ksharadri, Kanj, Konkan, Pankmid, Vamana, Shaka, Chulik, Ashwakshaw etc. Mandakya, Chandawar, Ashwar, Kaland, Gaur, Giratwadi are the states that are situated in the left foot of the tortoise. Janpadas like Kailash, Himalaya, Crouch, Kaikaya, Takshashla, Ganda, Gurus, Yodhya and Rajanu etc. are situated in the left side of the tortoise's abdomen. Narayana in the form of tortoise is that inconceivable soul in which reside all the lords of deities and constellations. Bhadrashva-Varsha. Markandeya says, Bhadrashva-Varsha is situated towards the east of the great mountain Devakat. 5 more mountains are situated within its area: Koranj, Shwetapana, Nila, Shewal, and Panashalagra. Bhadrashva consists of thousands of Janpadas. Numerous rivers like Sita, Shankavali, Bhadra and Chakravarta flows there. People living in Bhadrashva-Varsha are full of radiance and they live for 1,000 years. Narayana dwells in Bhadrashva in his incarnation of Hayagriva. Now I am going to tell about Ketumal-Varsha, which has 7 mountains within its area: Vishnu, Kambal, Krishna, Giant, Haraparvat, Vishoka, and Vardhaman. There are thousands of smaller hills apart from these 7 major mountains where people live. The names of the rivers flowing at Ketumal-Varsha are Vankshayama, Swakamba, Amogha, Kamani, Shyama etc. Narayana dwells in Ketumal-Varsha in his incarnation of Abhor, Varaha. Now listen about Utkarujha. There are thousands of trees, which are fruit-laden in all the seasons. Apparels are made from the bark of the trees and ornaments from its fruits. After being degraded, the residents of Devaloka take birth here. Utakuru has two mountains, Chandrakant and Suryakant. The river Bhadrasoma flows between these two mountains. Narayana in his incarnation of Matsya, fish, lives at Utakuru. Chandradweep and Bhadradweep are the two famous islands situated at Utakuru. Kimparashurvashur. Markandeya says, the people residing in Kimparashurvash enjoy a long life. They live for 10,000 years. They are never bothered by any kind of disease or sorrow. Just behind Kimparashurvash is situated Harivash. The residents of Harivash enjoy an eternally youthful life because of the sugarcane juice they intake. Mayuvash, which is situated near Harivash, is also known as Ilavrit. It is devoid of the light of the sun but gets sufficient light from the radiant Sumayu mountain. It is so bright that even the sun gets overshadowed. People living in Mayuvash enjoy a very long life for 30,000 years. Similarly, people living in Ramyakvash sustain themselves by drinking fruit juice. They live for 10,000 years. Hiranyamavash is situated towards the north of Ramyakvash where the river Hiranvati flows. The residents of Hiranyama are powerful, rich and handsome in appearance. Swarajjish Manvantar. Kraustuki asked Markandeya, "Oh, great sage! Now tell me something about Swarajjish Manvantar." Markandeya replied, "Once upon a time, there lived a Brahmin at the bank of river Varana. One day, a guest arrived at his place. The Brahmin treated his guest with due respect. After formal introduction, the Brahmin became aware that his guest was not an ordinary person. He had traveled around the world with the help of some special mantras he knew and medicinal herbs, which he had in his possession. The Brahmin was quite impressed. He too wanted to see the whole earth. He requested his guest to give the mantra and the medicinal herb so that he could travel around the world just like him. The guest applied some medicinal solution on his legs. After this the Brahmin went to see the Himalaya mountain. While wandering the solution, which had been applied on his legs, got washed away. As a result, he now became immobile. He started looking all around himself. He found numerous apsaras entertaining the Kinnaras, Gandharvas and deities. The Brahmin was very much pleased to see the happy atmosphere prevailing all around Himalaya. He thought of going back to his place but was unsuccessful, as the medicinal solution had been washed. He became very sad. An apsara by the name of Varadini saw him in a miserable condition. She became infatuated by him. When she went near him, he asked, "Who are you? Who is your husband? What are you doing here?" After this, he narrated his own story and said, "I had come from Marananagar to see the Himalaya. But I am unable to return home as the medicinal solution, which was applied on my legs, has been washed." Varadini told the Brahmin that she was an apsara. She also expressed her deep love towards the Brahmin. She requested the Brahmin to stay there and not to go back home. She assured him if he did, as per her instructions, then he would enjoy an eternal youth. He would never become old. Varadini forcibly tried to embrace the Brahmin. This made the Brahmin very angry. He said, "Varadini, the sacred scriptures prohibit a Brahmin from indulging in sensual pleasures because it gives sorrow not only in this world but also after his death." But Varadini was not satisfied by his answers. She threatened to give up her life if the Brahmin did not marry her. The Brahmin did not agree. The Brahmin purified himself by performing a kaman and began worshipping Agni. He said, "Oh, Agni, you are the root cause of all karmas. The deities bless us with rain only after you are pleased. O Agni! I need your blessings. I want to go back home. Varadini's modesty breached. Markandeya says, Agni became pleased by the Brahman's devotion. Agni entered into his body. The Brahman's body illuminated due to Agni's radiance. When Varadini saw this, she was fascinated by the Brahman's appearance. The Brahman proceeded towards his home. Feeling helpless, Varadini cursed her fate. Varadini had once insulted a Gandharva named Kali sometime in the past. Chancing upon the opportunity, Kali went to Varadini to take his revenge. He had disguised himself as a Brahmin. When she saw him, she said, I need your protection. If you heed to my request, then you will certainly attain virtuosity. Kali did not want her to know about his real identity, so he replied, if you really want my protection, then you must have your eyes closed while having copulation. Varadini agreed. His marriage with Manorama. In due course of time, Varadini became pregnant. She gave birth to a child who was named Swaraji. The child was extraordinary. In a very short time, he became proficient in all the scriptures. One day, young Swaraji saw a terrified girl near the Mandar mountain. When the girl saw Swaraji, she pleaded for help. Swaraji assured her and asked about her identity. She said, my name is Manorama. Once I had made fun of a sage who was doing penance near the Kailash mountain. At that time, two of my companions, Bhavari and Kalavati, were also present with me. The sage cursed all three of us. Bhavari and Kalavati got inflicted with leprosy and tuberculosis due to his curse. Even I was not spared. I'm being chased by a ferocious demon since then. I need your protection from that demon. I am giving you this very powerful weapon with which you can successfully kill the demon. Swaraji took the weapon. During the conversation between Swaraji and Manorama, a demon arrived just then. The demon wanted to devour Manorama. Swaraji was confused, as he did not want the sage's curse to go futile. He allowed the demon to get hold of Manorama, who then started wailing. Hearing her wail, Swaraji thought of killing the demon. Becoming afraid, the demon released Manorama from his clutches and pleaded Swaraji to spare his life. He then narrated his own story. He said, you have rescued me from sage Brahmamitra's curse. Actually, my name is Indivaraksha. I had requested Brahmamitra to teach him the nuances of Ayurveda, which he refused. I decided to learn Ayurveda while sage Brahmamitra taught his disciples by hiding myself. One day, the sage came to know of this. He cursed me to become a demon. I begged for his forgiveness. He said, whatever I have said will definitely come true. You will certainly become a demon. After becoming a demon, you will try to devour your own daughter but would regain your original form of Gandharva due to the touch of astral weapon with which you would be attacked. O great soul! Since you have liberated me from the curse, therefore, I hand over this girl to you. Accept her as your wife. I will also bestow the knowledge of Ayurveda, which I had learnt from sage Brahmamitra. Manorama requested Swaraji to cure her companions from the diseases they were suffering from. Swaraji assured Manorama that he would certainly cure her companions with the help of Ayurveda, which the demon had taught him. Both Swaraji and Manorama got married. Swaraji then went to her companions and cured them from their diseases. Swaraji's other marriages. Markandeya says, after getting cured from their respective diseases, both the companions of Manorama expressed their gratitude to Swaraji. Swaraji married both of Bhavari as well as Kalavati. To show her gratitude, Bhavari taught Swaraji, a special art that helped him to understand the language of all the living creatures. Kalavati, on the other hand, while narrating her tale, said, "A demon named Ali had asked my hand in marriage from my father, but my father refused. The demon got angry and killed my father. I wanted to commit suicide, but Sati, the wife of Shambhu, prevented me from doing so by saying, 'You would be fortunate to become a wife of great soul Swaraj.'" Swaraj's reproachment. Markandeya says, after getting married, Swaraj started living happily along with all his 3 wives at Malaya mountain. One day, impressed by the mutual love Swaraj and his wives had for each other, a female ruddy goose told another one, "Very rarely are found such couples who have love for each other." But the other female ruddy goose did not agree. She replied, "You are wrong. Swaraj is not a blessed man. Actually, he deceives all of his 3 wives. Even his love for all the 3 wives is varied. When one wife is desirous of his love, he embraces the other wife. So where is the question of having mutual love for one another? In comparison, my husband and I are blessed because we have mutual love and respect for each other." Swaraj, who was listening to their conversation, realized how true the ruddy goose was. But still, he did not change his ways and continued to live with his wives for 100 years. One day while wandering, Swaraj saw a deer surrounded by a herd of doe. One of the doe, on having a desire to copulate with the deer, started sniffing him in anticipation. But the deer became angry and said, "Do you think I am as shameless as Swaraj?" A man, who is sought by numerous beauties, his condition becomes laughable. Not only does the daily routine of such a man gets disturbed, but also his behavior is never fair towards his wives. The origin of Swaraj Manu. Markandeya says, Swaraj became very sad after hearing the deer's utterances. He realized how lowly and mean he had become. He decided to renounce life after abandoning his wives. But this did not happen because as soon as he met them, he forgot everything about renunciation. He continued to live with his wives. In due course of time, Swaraj begot 3 sons, Vijay, Marund, and Prabhav. Swaraj ordered the construction of 3 cities for his sons, which he donated to each of them. The city situated towards the east was given to Vijay, while the city situated towards the north, named Nandavati, was given to Marund. The city named Al, which was situated in the south, was given to Prabhav. Swaraj then lived happily with his wives. One day, Swaraj had gone for hunting. He saw a wild boar and adjusted his arrow on the bowstring to kill it. Just then, a doe arrived and requested him to kill her instead of killing that boar. She said, "Kill me with your arrow so that I get liberated from my sorrows. I don't want to live because I have become infatuated with such a person whose heart lies somewhere else. My aspirations remain unfulfilled. So death is my only refuge." Swaraj was very much amazed. He asked, "Who is that fellow?" The doe replied, "It is nobody than you." Swaraj was puzzled. "How can this be? I am a man whereas you are an animal." The doe then requested Swaraj to embrace her, which Swaraj agreed to do. As soon as Swaraj embraced the doe, she got transformed into a beautiful lady. Swaraj was very much astonished, but the doe said that, "Don't get puzzled. I am the presiding deity of this forest. I have come to seek your help on the request of the deities. It is your duty to help me in giving birth to a son named Manu." Swaraj married her, and in course of time, she gave birth to a son. The whole atmosphere became joyous and happy at the birth of the child. Gandharvas started singing songs and the Apsaras danced. The deities showered flowers from heaven. The child was so radiant that all the four directions became illuminated by his brilliance. Swaraj named this child as Dayutaman. This child was later on also known as Swarajish, the son of Swaraji. One day, while wandering, Swaraji saw a swan who was telling his wife, "Now, we have become old, so what is the use of remaining attached to each other? It's time, we must seriously start thinking of renouncing life." But his wife said, "This world is meant for enjoying sensual pleasures. Even the Brahmins perform yajas with that purpose in their mind. All the virtuous people indulge in virtuous activities with the sole desire of experiencing the pleasures of life. How come the idea of renunciation has entered your mind?" The swan replied, "One who is not attracted towards sensual pleasures is totally devoted to God. One who is attached by worldly matters can never reach God. Have you not seen the state of Swaraji? How can he be liberated from the sorrows of the world if he is not even willing to shun the attachments? I am not like Swaraji. I know that after enjoying a fully satisfied life, this is the time to renounce everything." After hearing this, Swaraji was very much ashamed of himself. He decided to do penance. His wives also accompanied him. All of them ultimately went to heaven by the virtue of their penance. Swarajish Manvantar. Markandeya says, during this Swarajish Manvantar, Indra was famously known as Vipaskit. The other deities were known as Paravat and Tushit. The names of the Saptarishis who lived during this Manvantar were Aura, Stam, Pran, Dut, Ali, Rishab, Niskar, and Avavara. Swarajish Manu had 7 sons who were very mighty and brave. Chaitra and Kimparashur were 2 of them. The descendants of Swarajish ruled the earth till the end of this Manvantar. Kraustuki asked, "Oh, Lord, tell me about the treasures of this world." Markandeya replied, "Goddess Lakshmi is the presiding deity of learning, Vidya, called Padmini. After getting perfection in this Vidya, a man becomes the master of 8 types of treasures: Padma, Mahapadma, Makar, Kakyup, Mukunda, Nandak, Neel, and Shank. The treasure called Padma is pure in nature. A man who becomes the master of this treasure mainly deals in things like gold and silver etc. Not only he, but also his descendants derive benefits from this particular treasure. A person who is the master of Mahapadma deals in things like pearls, corals etc. This particular treasure does not abandon a man till his 7th generation. The treasure called Makar is tamasic in nature. A man who is the master of this particular treasure is basically tamasic by nature. Such a man has mastery in handling over various weapons like swords, bows and arrows etc. This particular wealth remains with a man only for 1 generation. The treasure called Kakyup is also tamasic in nature. A master of this particular treasure enjoys all the pleasure of this world and he does not trust any person easily. This treasure also remains with a man only for 1 generation. The treasure called Mukunda comprises of Raja's quality. A master of this treasure becomes proficient in 4 types of musical instruments like veena, venu, mridang etc. Such a man earns lot of money by exhibiting his art. The treasure called Nandak is a combination of Rajas and Tamas qualities. A man who gets influenced by this treasure becomes immobile. Such a man deals in things like metals, jewels, cereals etc. The master of this treasure is very benevolent and kind-hearted. This particular treasure remains with a man till the 7th generation. The treasure called Neel is also a combination of Rajas and Sattva qualities. A master of this treasure deals in things like clothes, cotton, pearls, fruits, flowers and things made from wood. This particular treasure remains with a man till 3 generations. A possessor of this treasure is a great social worker and constructs bridge, ponds etc. The treasure called Shank comprises of Rajas and Tamas qualities. Only one person can master this particular treasure. Such a man enjoys good food and is fond of wearing expensive clothes. Normally, this type of man does not give shelter to other people and is constantly thinking of his own betterment. Autam Manvantar. King Autam abandons his wife. Kraustuki says, "Oh, Lord. Now tell me about the Autam Manvantar." Markandeya replied, Uttanpada and Saruchi had a son named Autam. Autam was married to Bahula. Bahula did not love Autam and always showed disrespect towards him. One day, while both of them were sitting in the court, watching the proceedings, Autam offered a betel leaf to Bahula which she refused. King Autam felt dishonored. He ordered his attendant to abandon the queen in the forest. Bahula too was very happy, thinking that now she will not have to be in the company of Autam. This way, Bahula was taken to the forest. One day, a sad Brahmin came to Autam and said, "Oh, king. Somebody has abducted my wife. I need your help in finding out my lost wife." Autam asked the Brahmin about the nature, physical construction and about the age of his wife. The Brahmin revealed all the facts related with his wife. The king was not impressed. The facts, which the Brahmin had furnished, went to prove that his wife was not a chaste lady. The king expressed his view about his wife in so many words. He said, "What is the use of having such a wicked wife? Forget about her. I will give you another one with all the good qualities." The Brahmin replied, "Oh, king. It is one's duty to protect one's wife no matter how wicked she may be. By protecting your wife, your children also get protected. A man who does not protect his wife, has a son of hybrid class. His ancestors are degraded from the heaven because of such type of sons. I am not able to perform my religious obligations because of the absence of my wife. O king, please help me." While searching the Brahmin's wife, King Autam saw a sage at a secluded place. When the sage saw King Autam, he wanted to offer some arghya, some type of offering, to him, which his disciples prohibited him from doing. Then the sage changed his mind and offered his seat to the king. The king asked about the reason why he changed his mind of offering the arghya. The sage replied, "Though you are the descendant of Swayambhu Manu, but since you have committed a grave sin by abandoning your wife, I decided that you are not fit to be offered the arghya. No matter how mean your wife is, it is your duty to protect her at all costs." King Autam was very ashamed of himself. He asked the sage about the whereabouts of the Brahmin's wife. The sage replied, "His wife has been abducted by the demon, Balak, the son of Adri. He has kept her in the forest called Utpalavat. Go and help the Brahmin to meet his wife so that he doesn't commit a grave sin like you." Brahman's wife returns home. Markandeya says, when King Autam reached Utpalavat forest, he saw a woman eating a srifal fruit. The king asked that woman whether she was the wife of that Brahmin, Sushama. The woman replied in the affirmative and said, "The demon abducted me while I was sleeping. Since that day, he has kept me here. I am very afraid of that demon." The king then asked the woman about the demon's whereabouts. The woman pointed towards the direction of the demon's path. The king went in that direction. When the demon saw the king approaching him, he bowed down in reverence and said, "Oh, king, what can I do for you?" The king asked, "Why have you abducted the wife of this Brahmin?" The demon replied, "I am not the demon who devours human beings. I devour their flaws. I have many beautiful wives." So where is the need of aspiring for another woman? Actually, the Brahman is a very learned man and has mastered the mantras. By chanting Rakshadni mantras during oblations, he has increased my hunger by making incantations. Therefore, I have abducted his wife to prevent him from accomplishing any yajna. The king became very sad. He thought, what a grave sin I have committed by abandoning my wife. Earlier, that sage too did not find me fit for giving Arghya. Now, this demon is also aware of the importance of one's wife in religious ceremonies. How cruel I have been to my wife. The demon told the king, "Oh, king. What should I do for you?" The king replied, "Devour the flaws of this woman so that she becomes humble. After that, carry her back home." The demon acted as per the instructions of King Uttam. As a result, the Brahmin's wife became very humble. She said to the king, "It seems there is no fault of this demon. Perhaps I must have caused separation between a husband and wife in my previous life, and for that very reason, I was forced to suffer this separation with my husband in this present life." The demon said, "Oh, king. What else do you want from me?" The king said, "You must be present before me whenever I remember you." The demon agreed. He carried the Brahmin's wife to her home,